Hello, Drunkduckers. This is OZ Ocean, and with me are Tant, Serene, and Bane.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello. And this week, we're on the Quackcast 793, Imposter Syndrome. About Imposter Syndrome, which is a rather interesting little syndrome, which everybody suffers from. It's quite fascinating, and it's something that's really much something that poor old webcomickers suffer from a lot, because we're creative people, and creative people suffer, but everybody does, everybody in the whole world, for every single thing. Before we get into that, I have to mention the featured comic. Quackcast is going to tell us about In the Woodland.
Hello, this is Quackcast, and the feature I've selected for this week is In the Woodland by In the Woodland, and it is rated E for everyone. Times were hard. The free peoples of Woodland needed a hero. Pierrot, a penguin farmer, was having a perfect day on the way through Plum Pass. Guardian Itchy decides Pierrot is the only hope, the only choice, and now the fate of an entire population is in Pierrot's hands. Armed with a sword named Silvertail, this penguin farmer is about to embark on an adventure. Pierrot walks along ancient sunny paths, passing rivers and streams, to the Black Forest. It is here where Pierrot encounters a sorcerer called Zumo the Wizard, who makes potions and lives in the Black Forest. Remember, no one escapes their destiny. The color scheme has the soft pastel chalk blend feel of printed Sunday comics. The contrast in line art is superb. Listen to Zumo the Wizard's divination powers and read In the Woodland by In the Woodland, rated E.
And that was Quackcast with In the Woodland. Alright, she's always very good in her explanations of these comics that she reviews. Next up, we have the featured music this week. It's another best of Gumwallis, and this week, Gumwallis's great little tune is chosen by Tant Serene, and Tant chose Simply Sarah, the theme to Simply Sarah, and this originally appeared in Quackcast number 178, and I described it as lovely female vocals, nice track, because I wasn't doing much of a description then. And Chance, you've chosen it because it's about self-realization. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And coming into your own and feeling confident in who you are, what you want. And what you want out of your life as well, I guess. So, confidence.
Self-confidence. Okay. Take it away, Gumwallis, with your theme to Simply Sarah.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
That was Gumwallis' theme to Simply Sarah, which is, he gave us a nice little theme to that, so I hope you like it. Now we're going to talk about the Imposter Syndrome. Do you feel Imposter Syndrome? Baines, like Tance and I are really good at this stuff, but I don't know whether you belong, man.
I know. Believe you me. Yeah, this is
oh my God.
Definitely, I've had it plenty of times.
That would be an evil thing. If I was sincere, that would be a a bloody evil thing to say.
Yeah. We know we just tease each other, and it's never threatening. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like whenever I come up with a joke or whatever, I feel imposter syndrome because Baines is a natural at comedy, and I feel like lesser than Baines.
Oh God. Well, very nice compliment to me there. Thank you, but yeah, you need not.
Oh dear, it's true though.
it is.
I definitely can feel that too around other funny people. Like if someone else is very funny in a particular way, and I'm like, oh, I can't measure up to that, or I don't fit with that, or these days it's like a younger sort of sense of humor. I don't know what that even would be exactly, but just like in a subtle way, like, oh, I'm not speaking the same language as some people, I think, anymore. And so I can have it there too, even though I'm comfortable, like being funny in a casual way, not as a professional or anything. But yeah, I definitely can have that in a couple of different ways.
Okay.
Even around something that I feel comfortable being, with people I know a little bit, at least I can feel comfortable with being kind of funny.
Then
It still hits.
It's weird when you feel that, you think you're being funny and humorous, and then you think, oh God, I really don't fit in here. This is not right.
All the time. Get that feeling. You're speaking my language there. All the time.
Oh dear. But as artists, we are subject to this because we're putting out our creative input to the world, and we're always evaluating it, and we're thinking, oh my God, I'm the greatest thing ever. Look at my stuff. Oh, this is Michelangelo's David again and again and again on constant repeat. It's amazing. And then you have like second thoughts. You think, oh, my stuff is just trash. Everyone must be secretly laughing at my crap that I've had the temerity to let other people see in the big wide world. It should be hidden away for no one to ever see ever. And you especially feel that way when you have these, when you're amongst other creators. So on a site like Drunkduck, where we have, a lot of other creators doing work, and a lot of them do different kinds of work we don't directly compare ourselves to. Say like Bravo 1102 has his own style, like using figures and stuff like that. So that's photographing action figures, which is fantastic. It's really cool and original, but you don't necessarily feel you compare yourself negatively to that because it's in a very different style from someone who does 2D art like me, 2D drawing. So that's a different thing.
He does that all on his own. If you listen to him talk about his stuff.
Well, I mean, from a point of view of like me feeling like imposter syndrome by looking at other people's work, like his is so different that I don't feel that way. But other people who do like not only my sort of style, but the same kind of themes as I do, and I look at their work and I think, oh my God, this person doing the same kind of thing as me, but way, way better. And now I feel pathetic and small, That happens when someone's stuff is close to your kind of, not only just your style, but also the themes you're doing, and you feel it's doing it better. So yeah, that's when it really gets me. What about you guys?
I think so, yeah. I mean, for me, it's it doesn't really hit me with artwork. And I think Tance was kind of explaining this on Patreon. I'm curious how you define all of this, but it in something that I feel like I've somewhat improved over the years with artwork, although I do mostly what I do now is 3D renders and stuff. But I don't feel like an imposter syndrome or anything like that with artwork or visuals usually. And I think it's because I don't feel like I'm an expert, quote unquote, in that. I sort of feel like it's there, it serves its purpose. I try to make it look good to my eye and sort of have a clarity to the storytelling. It's in writing that I feel more like imposter syndrome because that's something that I've sort of made a somewhat of a study of, and I don't think I'm an expert writer or anything like that, but I take it more seriously. So if something's not working on a writing level, I think it's not working, I guess. Like I would feel more imposter syndrome in that area.
So I agree with you, Baines. Like something that you're more an expert at, which is you put particular attention into your writing above anything else, and you're a really good writer, and you practice it over and over again with a whole bunch of different like comic styles you get into. So that must be something that you feel more strongly about and you feel more nervous about when,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, you're evaluating it for yourself.
And I've submitted screenplays and screenplay ideas and worked in little workshops online with other writers and stuff like that, and definitely had some imposter, like, oh, this is not grabbing people. I don't know what I'm doing. I've definitely had attacks of that in that
Wow.
context, I think if you're trying new things and you're pushing to do new things, then it's going to happen.
Also,
And I've been in the same position with you, Baines, in writing, especially, and art. Like I guess mine doesn't discriminate as much.
I felt that in art too.
Well,
But I think mainly it's because like I feel like I'm really never been an expert at writing. And also there's a lot of mystery to something about writing. People say, "Oh yes, it has to be done this way, and it has to be done this way," and you feel I don't know any of these particular ways, so I must be crap, and people mustn't really like my writing because I don't know how to do. I was never trained properly, so I don't know this and that. And whereas in reality, people will just read whatever crap they like, and sometimes whatever crap that comes their way, and sometimes they'll like it, and sometimes they won't. You don't have to be a super duper expert at it for people to enjoy it. But if you lack that expertise or the background, you still think, "Oh my god, I don't know anything about the proper hero's journey or story structure or point of view or anything like that. I must be an idiot. People mustn't like my writing." But you don't necessarily need it.
No.
But yeah, I have often felt that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Particularly,
It's funny because with artwork, like I can look at your artwork or Tanz's artwork or other people's and say like, oh, like this is amazing. I can just enjoy it, but I don't feel anything bad about it.
it doesn't make you feel bad.
Yeah, like I can't do that. I know I can't do that, and that's all right. It doesn't matter. There are other comics like artists who I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's what I wish my artwork looked like. It's comedic, it's chaotic, it's like that's what I'm trying to capture, and they're way better at it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing I was trying
I
to
feel
say
a little
before.
bit of yeah, exactly. So I feel a little bit of a like, ugh, like I can't do that. That's too bad. It's not a big deal, but
Yeah. Sorry, Tans, you go.
No, you
Yeah.
go.
I was just gonna say there's some particular artists that I like. I've looked at their work and I thought, oh god, that makes me feel bad about my work because it's so good. But then that sort of gets transformed into a feeling of I want to like this is this kind of stuff that I look up to that I would want to get as good at, so I don't look at this stuff as making me look bad or being good while I'm not bad. It's like something that I would want to emulate, that I would want to strive towards. And then you also think, yeah, it's great to actually have this person here because they're doing good work, and you want to you want them to continue doing good work, and so the whole I suppose it's like a sort of an envy thing, but it's not really an envy. It's like you're feeling bad about your stuff because their stuff's so good. But then it gets transferred into thinking, oh yeah, I'm glad they're doing that work. It's really great. I enjoy their work. So it gets transferred into that sort of thing. Maybe one day I'll be as good as that, but for the meantime, I just like that they are as good as they are. So
Totally.
I don't know. Do you guys have that little transference of that, like, it making you feel bad about your stuff and then turning it around to, like, thinking, yeah, well, you know, it is better than my stuff and it's what I would want to do, and that's great because their stuff is cool.
Yeah, I feel that a lot more than I think in imposter syndrome or like a bitter kind of envy. I don't really have that generally. This is not quite imposter syndrome. Maybe I'm not totally sure where the dividing lines are, but yeah, like I can enjoy comedic writing and sort of stuff like oh, I wish I could do that and it would be that easy to read and pleasurable and like you get a belly laugh from something. It's like, oh man. Or just a really good feeling, and you're like, man, I hope that sometimes something I write would cause that in other people or whatever. Yeah, but I can still
I think
enjoy it.
there's.
I can still
Oh,
enjoy it.
gone.
Yeah. That was it.
I think there is a difference between having imposter syndrome and just having this like gut gnawing bitter envy of someone else for being better that makes you have bitterness and generally cooking your own juices sort of thing. I would posit that is different, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
Uh, I genuinely really like seeing people that are better than me because then I have stuff that is better than me, than mine, to look at and try to improve my stuff as well. And say, okay, how did they do this amazing thing that I really like and I wish I could do? And oh my God, I wish I could commission them to draw my entire comic in this style.
Yeah.
But at least I do have, it's not at least, I think it is a privilege to have goals that for improving your own art. This whole thing of, oh my God, the XYZ artist is better than me, and that means that I have to bring them down and make them not exist so that I am better than everyone else. I think that is a disorder, and it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
And that likewise, feeling like, oh my God, this person is better than me, and therefore I have no right of existing or producing my stuff is also a problem. And that's even if you don't envy them in the sense like just it is just admiration. If this admiration kills your own creativity, then you have to work on that because that there is something else there, and that you should resolve it.
Right.
Seeing people better than you should create an excitement of, okay, I can improve in this trajectory that I really like and see how they do things and try to pick the things that I like and incorporate them in my art, for example. So, and that would be, I think, the better evolving, so to speak, of imposter syndrome. Like it shouldn't exist, honestly, and you should just feel that everyone is on their own journey of development and improvement, and everyone creates something completely unique that cannot be created by someone else exactly the way that you are creating it, and that alone qualifies you to be part of the art community in this particular case. And therefore just reject the whole thing. So that would be my advice to the world.
to the world. Yeah. What about like in your professional field, do you get imposter syndrome?
Oh, all the time. And it is a good thing if it is in small increments. And what I mean by that is you shouldn't, especially in sciences, you shouldn't get full of yourself. You should always check yourself and see, am I doing science the way I should do science? Am I contributing to the general knowledge the way I should be contributing? Am I overshooting what I think I know versus what I actually know? These are good questions to ask, provided that, again, it doesn't kill your motivation to advance your science, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
And that also brings to mind, like, when I think of imposter syndrome, I think of a person who does have some expertise and who is looked at as an authority figure. Like if you're some kind of therapist or psychologist, I think a person in your position, or a teacher or whatever, like that's the person who will sometimes, I mean, unless they're super arrogant, like you guys were saying earlier, like people are looking to you as an authority on something, or sort of to have the answers or something like that. And I have to imagine that most people in that position will sometimes feel some imposter syndrome. You know, just feel like I think I know what I'm talking about, and I hope I know what I'm talking about, and sometimes it's like, do I know what I'm talking about? You know, I have that in life sometimes, and yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and actually that is a big problem in fields like mine, in the sense that you will very rarely hear a scientist of any sort, social sciences, hard sciences, you know, what have you. You will very rarely hear a scientist be absolute in something. And say X causes Y all the time, unless it is something very, very basic and very replicated innumerable times, and it is so broadly applicable that I don't know. I mean, it is so basic that then you will get an absolute statement. But even then, there may be asterisks, is what I'm saying.
Unless it's a field that they're not an expert in. Like some scientists think, because I'm a scientist and I'm brilliant at this field, I must have a bit of knowledge about all fields. So, yes.
Yeah.
Which you do get.
And so you will hear, statements of the nature, like most of the times you will see this X, Y, Z causing that. Or we believe that X causes that, or there are indications that there is some relationship between X and Z. You know, these are not absolute statements. These are statements indicating that, yes, this is our basic working theory, that we have a healthy confidence that is valid. However, we are still checking it. So when you are talking to an audience that wants to hear something absolute, then your communication becomes a lot harder when you are standing next to a guy that knows absolutely, I'm trying not to cuss, that knows nothing, that knows next to nothing, is a very casual dabbler in your art or in your science or what have you, and speaks in absolutes. I'm going to tell you what is the case, and I'm going to tell you that X causes Y, period. You know, like for example, the whole there are two genders, there are two sexes, these are two different statements, by the way. And all this absolutism that happens and is delivered by people that have never taken a single biology course, and I'm including school because they probably slept through that. So they are going to be uber confident, and there is a, like in human human nature tends to lean towards the confidence more. Like you are more likely to convince someone if you project confidence about your statements.
And you're more likely to have confidence in something if you don't know anything. Which is
yes.
This is a weird little dichotomy there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right
on the
term
flip
at all.
side,
It's not the right term.
Yeah.
It's a weird something or other.
On the flip side, a scientist will be able to be confident in certain things. Like, for example, we are experts in education, right? So when parents came to me with their kids, and I was quote unquote the last resort, and my kid is an idiot, and I don't know what to do, but they have to be able to finish school or whatever. And I looked at the kid, talked with them a little bit. We did some fun exercise and stuff, and the kid was actually very intelligent, for example. I would be able to confidently say, your kid is not an idiot, period.
It's not an idiot.
Yeah. And I would not say, my working theory is that your kid is not an idiot. But why though? Because the issues that I would be handling, I had so much replicated experience that what I was seeing led to XYZ situations if worked properly, blah, 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 that I was able to make this absolute statement about this particular case of this particular kid in this particular context. But I'm not going to be able to tell everyone that their kid will be able, for example, to finish school. Absolutely. Because I don't know the circumstances, for example. And so on and so forth.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But, I mean, in that, again, I think this is sort of veering towards Dunning Kruger rather than Imposter Syndrome.
Yeah. But they are so related, though. I mean, the way we define them, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the more you know something, the more you know that you don't know something.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Basically, the less you know about something, less you know that you don't know. That's really what it means.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the more you become experts at something, which I suppose everybody is an expert at something. Like there are no, like this idea of like, oh, there's some people are stupid and some people are smart. You know, everybody knows a lot about one particular thing, or two, or three, or 10. You know, everybody in the whole world is an expert at something. So yeah, we're all subject to this kind of stuff all the time. Like I know almost nothing about engines. I know they work with explosions within cylinders explosion within chambers that push cylinders up, and then those explosions will happen in a series, which turns a crankshaft, and then the crankshaft, you know, the energy of that gets like modified by the gearbox, and then that eventually turns the axles, and then that via a differential or something that turns the wheels and gives your car power. And all other sorts of things happen within the engines. You know, there's oil and diesel engines function differently to petrol engines, or gasoline, as the Americans say. But like, I know barely anything, and because I know barely anything about that, I would imagine that I know more than I do, and that's how this kind of stuff works. Whereas the expert knows, hang on, no, that's not how. You know, like, what do you mean by engines? There's like a million different kinds of engines. That's not all engines work like that. They don't even have differentials. Some of them are direct drive. Some of them are, you know, this or that, or there's a turbine or rotary, or kind of, you know, like the expert knows that there's way too much to make a definitive field, and it's not just in the sciences. This is in everything, I think, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, I would say that there is a a line drawn between those that know they don't know and they act like they know that they don't know. And even when they are making statements about the stuff that they don't know, they are going to say, from what I know, which is not a lot, X, Y, Z, but we have to check on that. That's a different statement than a person that has this impression that they know enough or that they know a lot, depending. Like, for example, someone took a seminar like on engines, and now they feel they're an engineer, for example. Uh, compared to someone that Googled engines and knows that they don't really know about engines. It's just a lift enough to be able to sort of make an impression, but I will not claim that I know, or let alone that I'm an engineer or what have you. So there is like the person that somehow convinces themselves that they know more than they actually do are the ones that fall into this trap of the Dunning Kruger effect. Listen, for example, I don't know if you remember, there was this Jubilee video about the doctor versus anti-vaxxers, and most of them consistently said that I have done my own research, so that I know more than the doctor. Right?
Yeah, the research they've done is actually what we call, a confirmation. That's all they're trying to do.
Bias.
Yeah, they're trying to reinforce the things that they already believe. So they're just looking up information that agrees with what they think. So it's not really research. It's just finding, that kind of stuff.
However, they convince themselves that they have studied as much as a doctor. So, which is basically another trap, because they clearly have no idea how much work goes into becoming a doctor and how much you actually study. So the whole thing is like they are the ones that are going to be confidently incorrect. Versus, I
mean, the internet's like replete with a lot of that stuff. You know, people who believe that I don't know, the world was created 6,000 years ago, or the moon's doesn't exist, or the Earth is flat, or there's all that kind of stuff. They confidently believe it. Oh, the moon landing was fake, and they'll tell you about how all this stuff has happened, and it was all filmed on a backlot, and you can tell the moon landing was fake because there's no stars in the video that was done with the astronauts.
Or I have watched like a couple of videos, or not even just a couple. Like I have watched the innumerable videos on Greece, and therefore I know better than the Greek person telling me this doesn't happen in Greece, for example.
Oh my God!
I have had that happen to me all the time. Like
the new range of Greece suffers from this massively. I hear comments online anytime someone posts something about this is something art from Byzantium. Byzantium never existed. That's just a modern historical name for this period. There was no such place as Byzantium. This is just modern political terms. What the hell? Dude, you believe that? No, it was just Eastern Rome. That was what it was called. It was never called Byzantium. These people never called themselves that, and it was always Eastern Rome and Byzantium. And other people saying, no, there was no such thing as the Greek culture. It's actually Albanian culture, like Albanians. And where are you coming from?
Now you're going into the whole revisionist stuff that gets projected, and people fall into these categories depending on their own biases. So there's that. But it's not only that. It's,
Weird.
I mean, yeah, if you go into the whole histories, to whom does the Byzantine Empire belong? Is it Greek? Is it Roman? Is it something else entirely? Blah, blah, blah. Which, of course, in my opinion, this is a very silly debate, by the way, because it doesn't understand historical context. And you cannot call it either of these two things for different reasons. But anyway, this is my opinion. And I'm not an expert, so that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah.
But for example, modern Greek culture, I am an expert in because it's my culture. I sort of am a Greek person.
Have you ever felt imposter syndrome? Like, oh my god, I'm not really a Greek person at all. Like, I'm just faking it.
No, I have never felt that.
Of course you wouldn't. Yeah, that's hilarious. They convince you so much. Oh my god, like this Nolan version of the Odyssey is like, that's exactly how it would have happened. That's the best version of the Odyssey ever. He's just channeling Homer. You don't know what you're talking about, you Greek person. You've got no idea. He knows. You should feel imposter syndrome now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, the thing is, and there are things that, now that's a nice point that you made. I have never felt imposter syndrome as like an expert in Greek modern culture ever, because it is my culture that I have been raised in. So I guess there has to be a point beyond in expertise where imposter syndrome can't get you because you are simply that much of an expert.
Or maybe not expertise. Maybe it's just that, you live it. You've got no time for it. You've got.
Oh yeah, that could also be the thing. That's a good point.
It's like, say, when I'm working on my graphic design, like I used to feel like occasionally, imposter syndrome. Oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing, or maybe these people think I don't know what I'm doing, but like day to day that almost never happens because I'm just working on it and I know what I'm doing, and if I don't do it, then I don't earn my money, and things don't happen, and I must be like a proper graphic designer because this stuff gets used in massive advertising projects and all kinds of things, and it has for years and years and years. So you just, in the end, you just live it. It's just part of you. So
yeah, that's the thing. I think that this is where imposter syndrome sort of fades away after a point. After a point, it just stops happening. But I'm not sure what that set of circumstances are for every situation, and whether it can come back. That would be an interesting question to research, honestly. So,
imposter syndrome. It is fascinating. Vance, is there any thing where you feel imposter syndrome in that's not like artwork or writing, like in your work, maybe?
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm occasionally in a position where people are looking to me for answers or for knowledge on something or how to handle something. It's a lot of interpersonal kind of things, and sometimes it's doable, and you kind of have a bond with who you're working with and stuff like that, and you just I just kind of do my best, and that's it. Sometimes, I just have to sort of, it's just a best guess. I don't know.
But even if, you reach a point that, oh, sorry, go on.
I'm sorry. But there's definitely some times where it's imposter syndrome, and I do feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. It doesn't happen very often, but it happens.
I was just gonna say, even if you reach a point though that even if you are wrong, you know you're wrong because you did the best you could. So it's not because of imposter syndrome. You're wrong because it's just that you've used most of your expertise on this thing that you can, and anyone would be wrong. Like there's that possibility, you know?
Yeah.
So you're not necessarily feeling imposter syndrome in every situation where you don't know. I don't know. I was just,
sure.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, it is complicated. Yeah, when in position,
I'm very comfortable. I'm very comfortable at. Oh, sorry, buddy.
No, go
ahead.
You.
I'm very comfortable with being wrong. It's one of my gifts. It's true. I don't, and I've observed people, friends and stuff, who have an issue with it on tiny little things. And I'm not great or whatever, or better than anyone, but I feel like I am pretty gifted in the fact that I'm okay with being wrong about something. It doesn't bother me generally. So yeah.
I don't know. It's something like in my graphic design work, it's important that I'm not wrong for a lot of the time because mistakes can cost a lot of money. So so when I really know that I am wrong, I own up to it right away because there's nothing gained and everything to lose if you're like faking it. If you're like if you're wrong and about something or make a mistake and you didn't let people know about that. But it's very important that if you don't think that you're in the wrong, you have to speak up because you don't want to be blamed for thousands of dollars worth of a mistake. Yeah. It's not my fault. I did what I could. I was doing this. Yeah. Look, I'll research over many, many emails and work out exactly where I told you that this was going to happen. It's not my fault.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dear. Oh, God, that's happened more times than I can count in my career as doing graphic design. It gives you cold sweats. But,
so what happens if a person is suffering imposter syndrome in one of these situations in your job?
In graphic design?
Like they just wouldn't... Yeah. Like what might happen? Say a person, not that they're unqualified, but that they feel like they're a fraud or something.
Oh, I used to get that all the time. I used to get that all the time. You think... Because I didn't... I sort of fell into graphic design. I didn't have like formal training. I just, I did fine art and design in university and stuff like that. And then I just picked up working with all the programs just when I was like first making comics and stuff like that. And then I just fell into the job and learnt on the job for a lot of it. And of course I've been doing it for like couple of decades now, so I really know what I'm doing pretty much. So, but I did sort of feel initially that, oh my God, I'm not qualified enough to do this. Oh, people know more than I do. Whereas these days, my opinion sort of switched a bit, thinking, oh my God, these people have obviously trained and they're earning thousands of dollars at this. They freaking don't know what they're doing. Like, they should have imposter syndrome because they're idiots, causing me to do far more work than I have to fix up their terrible jobs all the time. So, yes, other people should have imposter syndrome.
And that's another thing, that you have expertise that I would wager, I don't know, but I would wager money can't buy at this point. So because you have all the problem solving you have been doing throughout these 20 years, creating all these works of graphic design, that is invaluable.
Oh, thank you. But I do know, the more I've done, that even though I do have a lot of expertise at particular things, that it's in a very narrow section of the whole field of graphic design, and it's just so much more around that I do not know anything about. So yeah, it's like
There
anything,
you go.
they're big fields.
There you go. You are an
Yeah.
actual expert because you know what other stuff is there.
Well,
out there.
I know. Yes, I know about the broad cloud of it anyway.
Yeah,
You know enough to know there are things you don't know.
exactly.
As the saying goes.
That's how it happens. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like even say, you know, in the stuff I do, graphic design, mainly like computer, you know, artwork done on computer is meant to be printed on various things. And I know some stuff about like making booklets and stuff like that, but oh my god, the whole world of making books and book binding and all that kind of stuff is like much more complex than I can do. And then there's like stuff like printing on like a newspaper. Like I have done stuff that's printed on paper like many times, of course, like millions of times, but the sort of person who knows how to actually print on like a newspaper that's a whole different expertise, you know, knowing how much the ink is going to be absorbed into the particular paper that you're going to be using, and you have to increase the saturation because it's going to lose saturation because the amount, you know, the absorbability of the paper and all that kind of stuff. My god, that's you know, way more knowledge than I have about those kind of things. So there's the depth of what you don't know is just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, absolutely. I suppose that's what you're sort of saying, that, you know, when you know a little bit about it, well, even if you know a lot about a subject, you know that there's so much more to it that you absolutely cannot know. It's like you know enough about a subject to know that you're only scratching the very surface of what there is to know. Like, say, when you're doing sciences, as you know, like, I mean, science is a world made up of deep expertise, but it's in incredibly narrow slivers of deep expertise in a huge globe of many slivers of deep expertise, which you can't know, you know, even if you're like a super hyper expert, you know, this idea of these polymaths, you can only know like a couple of slivers, a few slivers, because there's so much more stuff that you have nothing, you know, no knowledge about, or very shallow knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Like for example, and that's why you have different focuses within the same field, and even if it is the same subfield, you have different focuses. For example, education, like psychology of education, expertise in education. I am an expert in education, but only in typical education. And that means that I will not be an expert in how to educate, for example, someone that is neurodiverse or neurodiverse beyond a certain point. Or I will not know how, like the ramifications of someone coming from cultures that I am not familiar with and how to educate them and stuff like that. I would need to have consultations with experts that do in order to be able to create something that would fit a person with this, for example, specification and so on and so forth. So yeah, and the beautiful thing about science is that we have, at least to a point, moved on from these frenetic efforts to create the theory of everything and just explain something with just one thing. Especially like in psychology, there was this race to find like what is the omnibus explainer personality theory, for example. And that's where Freud tried to do it, and then others also did.
Yeah.
And of course they failed, because that's not how it works.
There is
we
no
have moved
normal,
from that.
basically.
Yeah, we have moved from that into understanding that knowledge is basically a mosaic, and every one of us has to really know their own pebble, so that we can cooperate together and create a nice mosaic that makes sense. So,
Okay.
and I like that. I like that. It's very exciting to be able to work with other experts. It's an amazing experience when you get there, when you actually get to talk with someone that knows a lot in something that you don't know, and you also know a lot in something that they don't know, and you talk to
Oh,
each
yeah.
other. It's really fun. It's a really fun experience. So
For sure.
yeah.
Yes, you can make up for the other person's puzzle piece that they don't have that puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Collaborate. That it's a sharing of knowledge. Yeah. So, is that the kind of thing, you know, when you say like we all have these different kind of things? Is that like the whole spectrum kind of idea of you know, this is a, you know, neurodiverse, but then the idea is that everybody is on a spectrum of
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
something or other. I'm not an expert. I don't know anything about what I'm talking about.
Well, the thing is that, yeah, that would be, now we are talking so generally that I wouldn't be able to make any statement that applies like an umbrella for everything. But most of the things work on a spectrum, and there are different grades to different conditions and different ways that people work. And that's why the term normal was rejected by psychology, and we switched to typical. Because typical,
Neurotypical.
yeah, and generally typical, like typical behavior is XYZ, or typical stress levels, for example, or typical developmental rates, what have you, whatever, instead of normal that was before. And why did we do that? Because normal and normalcy has an emotional charge that if you do not fall within these brackets of normalcy, you are abnormal. There is something wrong with you. Whereas we have discovered that this is not the case. It's just that typical is what the vast majority of the bell-shaped curve that is the standard, the now I don't have the
Standard
term because my brain
deviation.
goes. Yeah, when you have like the mean and two standard deviations, or one, depending on what we're talking about, standard deviation above and below this mean would be typical, because that's where you will find the majority of people. But that doesn't mean that this typical thing, whatever it is that you are studying, is the quote unquote good one, the one that says that you are okay. And everyone that falls beyond that is wrong, or has a problem, or needs to be looked at, or you know, what have you. So that's why we use typical now. Yeah, the more you know.
So yeah, Baines, you're not abnormal. You're fully typical. Now you feel confident. No, I've never thought of Baines as anything but perfect.
Yes.
He's
We are all
the only.
practically perfect in every way.
Exactly. He's the model we all strive towards.
Oh, indeed. Oh boy.
Well, we're reaching the end of this particular imposter cast. We're all
Yes.
pretending to be podcasters.
Yes. Oh, that's an actual
Mhm.
imposter syndrome I have. It's like, so you didn't know what you're doing when you're talking, or, on the podcast. No, you don't. That sort of thing.
I don't even think of myself as a
That's
podcaster
a
in any way. Oh, go on, babes.
Yeah.
neither do I. No, I agree. And I can remember actually, I don't remember when I started doing this or if you noticed it, but like when we were doing these episodes long ago, I started, at least from my perspective, like I started realizing something and started to say that, by the way, everyone, I'm not telling anyone what to do. Like don't take this as a voice of authority because it's true, like because we would often give our opinions on how to handle this or that, or how we like this or that to be done in making comics or in other things. And I really felt like, oh boy, this sounds like, and I don't think this is imposter syndrome, but I just started feeling like, oh, this sounds like I'm portraying myself as someone who knows what they're talking about, and I'm setting myself up as this person who tells other people what to do and who has the
Mm.
answers or something. And
Yeah, and I think
yeah,
I think when you started doing that, I think I was sort of behind a bit of that in that I was, like we were doing some writing things like about save the cat and all that kind of stuff, and I was like saying, now Baines is the expert on this, and you should follow the Baines method. And I was like baiting you and trying to like build it up because I didn't understand any of this stuff anyway, and I sort of viewed you as being like a super expert on writing. So
yeah. I mean, I don't know if it came from you, but yeah, it might have been around those episodes. So that was very early on in my time here. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, you had a reaction to that saying, "No, I'm not the expert on this. It's not my method. I'm not telling you what to do."
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, but we do have this thing where we say, like, yeah, we can talk about writing and drawing and this, but these are typical ways of doing things, but you shouldn't necessarily do them, and it's fine to sort of go against it and follow your own path. We just get offering advice based on our experience.
Yes.
Or it is what works for us.
Exactly.
Except when we are dunking on Star Wars, then we are
we are the experts on that. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yes. Yeah, we're pretty knowledgeable with that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you remind me actually that saying also when I started saying that, it was, and I do it in news posts sometimes too, or when I was doing news posts rather than the weekly comic, I would feel like I don't want these news posts or these episodes to make people react in a way that gives them imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
I don't want them to have imposter syndrome by proxy. No, that's not right.
Oh, she's coming back to that. Yeah, I love that.
Like this can sort of put into people, at least potentially, like it could make people feel like, oh, I don't understand this stuff. Like, so I can't do this idea I have, or it can hold people back, like I know I was held back by self-doubt from doing a comic. So I try to combat that, like to not say that, to not come across like I'm saying, oh, you have to know this, and this in order to make a comic or something. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we better wrap it up now. Like, admit we're all imposters as podcasters. And don't know what we're doing.
I'm a freaking fraud.
It's all a fake. They're coming for us. All right. Well, thanks very much for listening to Quackcast number 793.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.